All right, the Detroit Lions just got great news heading into the preseason game against the Chiefs this Saturday. And I know what you're thinking. Like, what do you mean they got great news heading into a preseason game? Who's the one guy you want to watch? Who is the one guy you want to watch this preseason more than anybody else? I'll let you answer right now. Throw it in the comment. Who is the guy for you that you want to watch in the preseason? I feel like I'm one of those magic guys that's like, I can guess what number you're thinking and what color you're thinking and all that kind of stuff. If your answer to that question was Hendon Hooker, if you wanted to see more out of what our backup quarterback can do, because let's be honest, the easiest position to watch in the NFL is the quarterback position. It's the one that we think we know the most about. It's the one that's the easiest for us to determine if he is going to be good or not, at least to the casual fan. That's what you know. That's what you see every play. Other than the center, the quarterback touches the ball more than anybody on every single play, unless you're running some wildcat. You know what I'm saying? So the quarterback is important, and we have our starting quarterback locked up. We have him signed up. The question is, do we have a competent backup quarterback that can win us some games? And it left some to be determined because of the horrible weather that we were dealing with against the Giants, and the Lions are getting news out of camp that Hendon Hooker is healthy. He is back at practice. You see right here, the Lions get a slew of players back at practice on Wednesday. Most notable were Hendon Hooker and McNeil. That's really good too, by the way. At this point, it looks like Hooker is on track to play in Saturday's game against the Chiefs. He told reporters after practice that he feels, quote unquote, really good. All right. And Campbell said there's a good chance that he plays. All right. Now, with him returning, newly added Jake Fromm did not take any team snaps. So here's the deal. Hendon Hooker's coming back. I'm not saying it's good news because it lets us win the game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we finally get hopefully a good amount of watch on a guy for the first time since we drafted him over a year ago. Remember, it's 2024. We drafted Hendon Hooker in April of 2023. He had the ACL injury late in his career at Tennessee, so we never got to see him in the preseason last year. All we got to see was him throw a couple of deep balls or working with an individual coach on like a 10-second video. Like, that's what we've been able to see from him. And then we got to see him against the Giants. And in the rain, when Sudfeld looked absolutely atrocious, really bad. Sorry, Nate. But you didn't look good, man. You didn't look good. He came in and he looked okay. So let's talk about what he looked like against the Giants, what I'm looking for against the Chiefs, and we can kind of go from there. All right, so against the Giants, he went 5 of 9 for only 36 yards. I'm not even that worried about what his pass efficiency was. Nobody threw the ball well in that game. It was a driving rain. It was nasty weather. He was behind a really, really poor backup offensive line, and sometimes it was the backups offensive line that he was going under. So therefore, you saw him running for his life. 4 carries for 34 yards. All right, he trucked a defender. He had a dive, and part of that is why he got a concussion. Like, now, this is when the long week, at first when I saw Thursday night preseason game followed by a Saturday, I was like, oh man, got to wait 9 days because you just want to see more football, right? Like, who's with me on that? You just want to see more football, and especially after that ugly game. I don't think there's an uglier preseason game, except maybe Seahawks-Chargers. It was an ugly game. And so it left so much to be desired, and you had to wait 9 days. But here's the good news. Because it's long enough, not only is Hendon Hooker able to return and clear concussion protocol, he's able to get his butt back. And he is feeling good, all right? He is feeling good. So I just kind of look at this, and I'm like, all right, let's just figure it out, all right? Let's just figure it out, and let's go and see. He was back 6 days from his concussion. That means it wasn't very serious, unlike what you're looking at with Antoine Green, who was released right? And Dan Campbell's like, it's not a good injury. It's not. It's a tough injury. And you're just like, ooh, that's really nasty. Hendon Hooker is already back. That bodes really well for the Lions because if you look at our QB room, oh boy. All right, Jared Goff, thank you. There are a lot of teams that are trying to figure out who is going to be their quarterback. As Dan Campbell says, we're just happy we have ours. Now we need to figure out who our backup is. I am not confident that Nate Sudfeld can come in and win us games. I'm just not. Excited kind of to see how he throws when he has a clean pocket, to see what he throws like when he has good weather and all that kind of stuff. But I want to know what Hendon Hooker can do. I want Hendon Hooker to be the first guy in the game. If Jared Goff is not going to take a series or two, if the starters are not going to play a series or two with the injuries that we're all coming up with, maybe they shouldn't. All right. I want to see Hendon Hooker take the first half. I want it to be his. And quite honestly, I wouldn't mind if he played the entire stinking game. Like, I know you want to keep him upright, but at the same time, you need to learn what this guy has. You need to figure out what he's got. What can he do when it's off platform? He started showing, even in the game against the Giants, that when things break down, he has the ability. I'm going to compare and contrast two plays with Nate Sudfeld and Hendon Hooker. Both of them were play action bootleg. All right, and it was a play action pass, but it was a QB boot was part of it. Hendon Hooker, Nate Sudfeld does the fake. There's a defender there. All he can do is either throw it away or get sacked. Like, he does not have the athletic ability or the arm talent to make something happen in that situation. Hendon Hooker, same thing. Play action, turn to the left, DN's right there. He just runs around him. Like, that is the difference between Hendon Hooker and Nate Sudfeld. And what I'm looking at in this game against the Chiefs is not just the off pattern play. Like, yeah, I want to see him become an improviser because that's some of it. I want to see if he can just run the offense. This team is loaded, and we know that. He's going to be behind one of the best offensive lines, if not the best offensive line in football. Like, great. You're not going to have to do a bunch of off action stuff. Can you just run the offense? Can you hit St. Brown when he's running wide open? Like, can you read it and see it? Can you understand Jameson Williams on your second read? Will you get Laporta over the middle? Like, can you understand the basic concepts of the offense and what the defense is doing and get the ball out of your hands on time? That's what I want to see against the Kansas City Chiefs. If he can do that, I think his athleticism, his arm talent are good enough to be a quality number two. But I have another thing that I want to see here. Not only do I want him to be good enough number two, because the beat writers, I'm listening to some different podcasts and things like that, and it's kind of like a 50-50 split. Some beat writers are like, yep, he's got it. He's going to be able to become a number two. It's just going to take time. Other beat writers are like, he's not it. Like, they are saying, like, he's not it. I want eyes on this because I haven't been able to watch him practice, so I want eyes on Hendon Hooker. And if he goes and balls out against the Chiefs, that means two things. One, maybe he's better than what we're hearing from behind closed doors. And number two, he's a gamer. Because if he's not good behind closed doors, but he's coming out and he's playing well in the games, because he was the best player against the Giants, in my estimation. All right, not that took much. I mean, Isaiah Williams, 4 catches, 34 yards, was the player of the game. So it didn't take much, but best player in my estimation. So let's watch and see what this looks like going forward. That is good news. We get to watch our number 2 quarterback. That's about as good as it gets for preseason. Live it, love it. Want some more of it. All right, thanks for watching. Always keep locked in here. I know I was saying that he was back at practice today. It was actually yesterday by the time you're watching this video, but I'll probably post it. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.